They're both Stevie Wonder samples, aren't they?
Men in
Men in
Black.
Black. That's Stevie Wonder. I'm pretty sure that's Stevie Wonder.
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember.
Wild Wild West is for sure. It's Superstitious.
Yeah.
No, it's not Superstitious. It's it's another one. But Men in Black.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's not. No. Let's look at it here.
Let's say it's Stevie Wonder. I could be wrong, but I can't remember.
Let's see.
I want to say it's Stevie Wonder.
No. Let's see. The song.
I want to say it was like a 70s song.
It samples "Forget Me Nots" by Patrice Rushen.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't either, but yeah, "Forget Me Nots." Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's the song. That is not Stevie Wonder, but Wild Wild West does sample what's his face?
Stevie Wonder.
Thank you. But I don't remember the song. It wasn't Superstitious. It was...
I can hear it in my head, but I don't know the title.
Me too. I Wish. This is a Stevie Wonder song,
Okay.
I Wish. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, who else is in that movie? Selma Hayek.
Wild Wild West?
Yeah, Kevin Kline.
Kenneth Branagh. He plays Dr. Arles Lovelace.
What's his name?
Kenneth Branagh.
What else has he been in?
Kenneth Branagh, he's better known as a director because he's directed a lot of movies too. But he's also been. Did you see? Yeah, I know you started Harry Potter back in the day, but you stopped. Did you see Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so
is he Gilderoy Lockhart?
Yeah,
okay, that's him.
That's Kenneth Branagh.
Wow,
and he plays the little half a man in Wild Wild West because Dr. Lovelace.
They keep making handicap jokes at his expense.
They do.
Well, Will Smith does.
Will Smith does,
because he keeps throwing racist jokes.
I was about to say they one up each other on either handy-capable people or jokes and then racist jokes. He says,
I wonder if that's why people don't like it.
No,
I feel like that wouldn't necessarily fly in this.
I don't really know.
Age.
No, in this day and age, probably wouldn't. I don't really know why it gets the hate that it got.
Campy, whatever.
But I mean, it kind of suspends disbelief because it's based on the TV show called The Wild Wild West. And
was that like steampunk or whatever?
No, it wasn't even steampunk. It was a western.
It's a western.
It was, and it was about James West, who was Will Smith's character, but on the Wild Wild West TV show from the '60s, it was of course a white man. He was Jim West, and
I do know that Will Smith bypassed the Matrix to do that, to do Wild Wild West.
Bad move.
Yeah.
Bad move. I also thought it was back in 2015, 2014, when I found out that he'd passed over Independence Day 2 to do the Suicide Squad. I said, ooh, that was a bad move. Mean, but they were both terrible. They both tanked that year, so I'm like, you were going to lose either way, Will. I'm sorry.
You were in a no-win situation. You did what you could. You were not going
to win. I will say Independence Day tanked harder than Suicide Squad, but at least that neither one of them did super well. So
I'm honestly not a huge fan of The Matrix.
I'm not either. That's controversial. It's
fine.
It's controversial to say, especially for our generation, to say I'm not a bit of that.
I saw it. I
saw the first two.
I honestly watched it super late, like 20 years after the fact.
Really?
And I was like, whatever.
Well, I saw the first two back in the day. I didn't see it in the theater.
I wonder if it just dated for me.
Probably. I didn't see them in the theaters, but I did see them when they came on TV, and it's fine. It held my interest, but it wasn't like a lore, like a Star Wars or a Star Trek or a Marvel that held my attention.
I don't really understand the cult following it has. Why it's so strong.
I'll never get that. It just seems very odd to me. But
and I can't really see Will Smith in it.
No.
In place of Keanu.
I was about to say, he was going to play Neo?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because Neo's a lot more restrained, reserved, and
right.
Will Smith's very charismatic individual.
He is, but he's also been in movies where he's very quiet and reserved. There's movies like I, Robot and
that one gets a lot of hate too.
It does.
I liked it.
That movie sucked.
I was fine with it. I liked it. I was fine with it.
That movie sucked. And then there was
he had a robot arm. That was so cool.
He did, but he was very quiet and reserved in that. And then he was also very quiet and reserved in the Last Man on Earth movie he did. What was it called?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. He was obviously he had to be super quiet because there was nobody to talk to, and he had to be quiet. He had to be quiet so the zombies didn't attack him.
Yeah.
And then there was Hancock. Did you see Hancock?
I never saw Hancock.
Hancock, it was fine. It's fine. But he was like a drunk. Well, not drunk, but he was like a
very dysfunctional superhero.
But he wasn't wacky and campy. So he can do straight like that, but. It just seems weird to see him in the style of the Matrix. So
wasn't he kind of like restrained and quiet in King Richard?
No, he was very charismatic in that movie.
Okay, wasn't like the character. It's a real life person. It's Venus and Serena Williams' dad, and apparently he was like a very overprotective father. Is more or less the crux of the character.
Maybe, but like he's in the movie. I mean, I think he's still that way, but he's also very charismatic and fun and funny.
Okay,
it's not like a comedy. That movie, it's just it's a family film, I think, more or less. But
King Richard.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had a fun personality in that film. So yeah,
I was this when you mentioned iRobot. I don't know why this kind of like came into my head just because I watched. I remember another movie from that time, Minority Report. But I watched like a little speech about a guy who was he was talking about social media and just like invasive algorithms and things like that. Yeah. He said like, I'm actually a computer scientist. I was consulted for that movie.
Minority Report.
Yeah. He said, I actually designed the scene where Tom Cruise is walking through like a shopping mall and he's like on the run at this point. And like he's trying to keep a really low profile, but like all the advertisements, they like start shouting out to him. They're like John, or what's his name? John something.
I don't remember.
Like Anderson.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Was like, Tom Cruise, you look like you could use a Guinness. And they like show his face. He's like trying to keep a low profile, but all the computer algorithms are like advertising to him and putting his face out there all at once.
That was just a few years before Facebook, and really 20 years before we started getting those horrible algorithms.
Yeah, and the guy who was giving the talk, he's like, it was supposed to be a cautionary tale, but I feel like people saw it and were just like, that looks awesome because they've taken the wrong message.
We learned it and we ran with it. We saw what we liked and we got it.